up for Tom one more time. Come on, let him hear. Let's go. Saturday night, late show. Pantera blasting. And a guy comes out who looks like the accountant for Pantera. How we doing? Thank you guys for coming tonight. You've helped me a ton. I have a wife and a 3-year-old little girl, and you've gotten me out of the house away from those two people. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Some of you I may even pay at the end of the tonight. Anybody married here over 20 years? 20, right? Yeah. Listen to that excitement. Did you hear that? One faint whimper. Anybody engaged to be married? That excitement. They have no idea the fucking wreck you're about to get into. I have a buddy, his friends are like, yeah, me and my dad and my mom are going to renew their vows. I'm like, why? That's like if I'm crossing the street and a garbage truck takes my legs off. 10 years from now, I return to the same fucking crosswalk and go, this is where the magic happened. You want to know about marriage? Here's marriage, and the veterans of marriage will back me up on this. The best way to describe marriage is by watching this movie called Open Water, okay? Some of you may have seen this. It's about a married couple. They go on a scuba diving trip, right, on the boat. A bunch of other, people scuba diving. They all go under the water. Everybody's in love. Everything's great. Everybody comes up, except for these two, and the boat leaves, and now they're fucked. They're in the middle of the ocean. Sharks start circling them. Nobody even knows they're gone. They're done. They're about to get eaten by sharks. Half the husband's leg gets bit off by a shark, right? So now he's bleeding in the fucking ocean, which is just ringing the dinner bell for all the sharks, right? And this, by the way, this movie's based on a true story, and I don't know who told it, the shark that shit him out later, I don't know, but I'm watching this thing, right? And the wife looks at the husband who's bleeding into the middle of the ocean, and she says to him with such love in her eyes, if we just would have went to Aspen. None of this would be happening right now. That's what she said. And one man over here I heard yell out, bitch. And you know what, sir? I'll tell you, my first reaction when I saw this at home is I stood up and I said, this is based on a true fucking story, because that is fucking marriage, okay? If you're doing it right, it becomes a fuck you Olympics is what it becomes. And you're not gonna fucking beat me. No, it's have, honor, obey. All right, it's cute, but here's what it's all about. Getting that last fucking shot in at the worst fucking time. That's what it's about if you're doing it right. I love my wife, but if she hit me with some Aspen shit while I'm about to get torn apart by sharks, I will win that fuck you Olympics. I will fake drown just to pop back up and hit you with one more fuck you before I really go. And that's to a woman I love. I would do that. I'd go, fuck Aspen. And she'd go, oh, my poor husband, I'm gonna miss him so much. He was such a good man, he was a good father. And I'd pop back up, hope a shark fucks you in your Aspen. What do you think of that? And she's like, oh my God, why would he say that right before he dies? It's terrible, you know? But I'm gonna cut him some slack. He's going through a fucking tough time right now. You know, and I would pop up one more time. If you weren't on your period, these sharks wouldn't have fucking been here in the first place. And you're not gonna top that. Then you let them tear you apart. You bet your ass that movie's so based on a true story that exact moment when she's hitting him with some Aspen shit, there's a couple in Aspen at that moment trapped in an avalanche. The husband's upside down, his fucking arms are all twisted up, the wife's like this, all twisted up, but she's got a hand free and she starts digging, right? For air, freedom? No. To get to her husband's fucking ear that's upside down. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Gerald. And Gerald's like, oh, because his face is filled with snow. Gerald, if we just would have went scuba diving. Right? And Gerald gets an arm free to get out, no, to shovel more snow in his mouth so he can die. And you're excited, I know, the way you're thinking about having kids, you talk about the ultimate fucking torture in life. Just one of them. That's all you need. You don't even need more. One will fucking snap you mentally. Like, waterboarding? Ha! I'll take waterboarding any day of the fucking week, brother. Any day. You go to Guantanamo and give these motherfuckers 3-year-olds for 2 weeks, okay? And in 2 weeks they will tell us everything we want to know. I don't want to watch Fresh Beat Band anymore. Just take this fucking kid. You want to talk about a mind snap? My daughter wants to watch, the other day she wants to watch Cinderella 2 on her TV, right? Which, now, forgive me for saying this, but I thought everything was wrapped up nicely in Cinderella 1. I didn't see a reason for Cinderella 2. But whatever, it's out there, and now I gotta watch it on my TV, because my daughter wants to, right? So we put it on, and this is what my daughter does. She goes in front of the TV, and she just goes like this, right? For like 5 minutes, just doing this. To the point where me and my wife, at the same time, we both go, now we're pissed that we can't watch a fucking shitty cartoon that we didn't want to watch in the first place. Now we're mad about it. Things are great now, the conversation's great, it all goes away, your soul leaves your fucking body once you're married. You want to know what conversation I had with my wife the other day? This came out of my mouth, and if I had any balls, I should have fucking swallowed a bullet right after it. But I look at her and I go, are these the regular pickles you get at the store? Right? That came out of my fucking mouth. And the saddest part, I was right. They were different pickles. And she was excited. She was excited that I noticed. We talked about it for an hour and a half, okay? It's fucking over. It's over. I quit smoking weed for this fucking kid. Fucking stupid ass. I started getting freaked out because I was getting high, you know, my wife was pregnant, and I'm like, you know, there were signs that maybe I should tap out for a little bit, you know? I had the munchies one night, and I'm trying to open this box of cherry pie, and it's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, I can't get this fucking box of cherry pie open. I realize it's a box of Reynolds Saran wrap with a picture of a cherry pie slice on the box. Like, you gotta be really high to think any part of a pie could logically fit in a Saran wrap box. It cannot be done. So I stopped cold turkey. That means no more Discovery Channel. I can't watch it anymore. Except Deadliest Catch. I love that show. I can watch it high, sober. I come away with the same question every time. Not a lot of black guys on Deadliest Catch, am I right? You don't see it. They're terrified of that shit, you know? Not the ocean work, but I was so watching. So now my wife's pregnant, we start watching TLC, this fucking channel, with all these pregnancies and medical shows, and their hit show is a show called I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant. Now, just raise your hand, lady. Anybody here with kids? Anybody here have children? Yes, 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 yes. How many kids you have? 2. I'm asking a personal question. You won't leave this room. Did you know you were pregnant? You did? Both times? I believe her. I'll tell you why I believe her. Because she doesn't fit the demographic of the women on the show. I didn't know I was pregnant. And it's their fault for having a shitty title, because you don't know what this show's about. I watched the whole season of it. I came up with a new title. Here it is. I'm such a fat fucking piece of shit. There is more, I'm not gonna lie. It's more, it's a little long. But if you just saw that on the guide, you'd be like, DVR that real quick. Might be something there, I don't know. I'm such a fat fucking piece of shit that I can't tell the difference between life growing inside my body and a White Castle shit. Okay, there's your fucking show. Every episode, it's some pig going, I thought it was gas. Get the fuck out of here. It's a human being trying to escape. It's not gas. So I'm going crazy without weed. My wife gives birth, beautiful baby girl, healthy, everything's great. She says to me one day, she goes, I need you to run down to the deli. I need you to get a half a pound of provolone cheese sliced thin. And instead of retaining that information, the first thing that popped in my head is, you have a joint stashed in a sock. Grab it, take 2 hits, come back home. It's a 10-minute walk, everything will be fine. So I smoked the whole joint. I'm now at what I think is the deli, not really sure. And I definitely don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to get. I've forgotten that information completely. So the guy goes, what do you need, boss? And with a straight face and Korean eyes, I look at this guy and I go, I need a ½ pound of Parmesan cheese, sliced thin. And the guy looks at me and he goes, what? And the way he said it, I'm really high, so I got paranoid. I'm like, he fucking hates Jews. I see it, I know it. They're fucking anti-Semite. So I get, you know, kind of loud. I'm like, I said, I need a ½ pound of Parmesan cheese. And just to make sure I'm coming off like an asshole, right? I go like this, sliced thin. I throw that in. And the guy looks at me and he goes, we don't, like he's yelling like I'm retarded because I'm retarded, right? And he's like, we don't slice Parmesan cheese here. And my brilliant answer, I go, what kind of fucking deli is this? How about the kind I went to 10 times a day, right down the street from my house? How about that kind of deli? Instantly, voice pops in my head. Dude, you should walk 30 minutes to that other deli. They slice Parmesan cheese there all the time. You've seen them do it. So now I'm gone an hour, I'm waiting in another line, my phone rings, it's my wife, and this will give you an idea of how high I am. I was excited to talk to her. To unveil this big Parmesan Jewish cheese conspiracy I've uncovered in New York. I go, honey, you're not going to believe this, but the deli by our house doesn't slice Parmesan cheese. And it's quiet for like 7 seconds, and then she just goes, are you high? Like that. And the way she said it, I'm like, fuck, she hates Jews. I can hear it. Like, I married an anti-Semite. I'm an idiot. So I went back to smoking weed. Thank you. My dealer, everybody. Thank you, sir. He's happy I'm back. You know what? Listen, I got to a point where I started watching this show, Yo Gabba Gabba, with my daughter. And I'm like, all right, if I'm going to watch a red dildo with one eye and bumps all over him, sing to me, sing, not talk, sing to me, not to bite my friends, I'm gonna smoke the fucking joint before I watch this. Everything's gonna change, man. Everything's gonna change. Before the kid, me and my wife used to make all the stains on our bed. Not anymore, no. Fucking, it's over. Sex life. She texted me one day when we were dating, she said, I'm coming to pick you up in a trench coat and baby oil. 2 weeks ago, she sent me a text. Sorry I didn't pick up the phone. I was changing my tampon and the kid was crying. You guys thinking about marriage, that's what's coming your way, motherfuckers. You better be ready to jerk off to a text like that because that's what it's going to take. I did it. I'm in it to win it. I don't fuck around. Before I leave, I want to share with you guys a quick story about an airplane incident that happened to me. I recently had to fly back, and I had a middle seat on a flight. I don't know how many of you ever had a middle seat on a flight, but one of the worst things about it is if you get there first, because now you're mentally judging everybody that's coming down the aisle. Like you're like, no. That motherfucker smells. I know he smells. No. So I get an Orthodox Jewish couple, right? I'm like, all right, whatever, my people, you know. Right away, I try to be nice. I go, would either of you like to switch? I have no problem with the window or the aisle. And the woman says, I prefer the window, and he prefers the aisle. So I'm like, all right, I'm fucked. You know, there's nothing I can do. We take off, I put the earbuds in, I'm asleep for like a half hour. I wake up because I feel like somebody's standing over me. And I look, and it's the husband, and he's standing over me, and his arms are out, and there's a baby at the end of his arms. A baby that they didn't have when the flight started. That's the first thing I'm trying to put together as I wake up. And I take the headphones out, and the guy doesn't say, hey, or can you, or please. He goes, hand the baby to my wife. And I go, no. And he goes like that, like he steps back, and I go, listen, this is why I asked if you guys wanted to switch, so we wouldn't be in each other's lives like we are right now. And if I wanted to travel with a kid, I'd have brought my fucking kid with me. And the guy says to his wife in Hebrew, not knowing that I was born in Israel, and I speak fluent Hebrew, and I've been waiting almost 40 years to catch a motherfucker slipping. And it happened at 38,000 feet. This guy says to his wife, he says, "Ze lama ani soneh otam," which translates to English means, that's why I hate them. And I was like, whoa. And then I'm like, them? What the fuck do you think I am? I'm not an Asian math whiz sitting in between you two. And I realized I have to let this guy know that I understood what he said. What better way to let him know than to say something back to him in Hebrew? So the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, "Lech tizayin ta'ima shelcha batachat," which translated to English means, why don't you go fuck your mother in her asshole? Now I had no idea. It turns out this is a very powerful phrase. Nobody's handing you babies after you throw that one out there. Nobody's got to piss or shit. I could have lit a cigarette and the guy would have been like, use my hand as an ashtray. It's fine. I don't care. You guys are awesome, man. Put your hands together. Thank you for coming out. And now it is time. You know him from TV, you know him from film, and you definitely know him from the Opie and Anthony show. Make some noise. Give it up for Jim Norton! For Shuli and Tom Nemec and Fredo Corleone and Mo Green. Thank you guys for coming. You seem like a delightful crowd. I appreciate you being here on such a magical night. How are you feeling? By the way, you know how humiliating it is to walk out and the first thing you have to do is lower the microphone? A little bit. There's no way. That's like being in a girl's house and you open her drawer and you pull a condom out and it's a Magnum. And you have to go, do you have other options?